You get to get real talk. If you've been getting fake talk all week, sometimes your girlfriend tell you love you, and you know that she really don't love you. And your man say, "Baby, your hair sure look good now," and it ain't been done in 3 weeks. But this ain't that kind of talk. This real talk radio, and I have my co-host, Pastor Linus Mays.
Bless you,
And
brother.
guess who just fell back in the building? I ain't seen him in a minute, but we have Brother Robert Thomas Jr.
Our
And
big
we're
brother.
going to give you a very special show this week because we just had an election, Pastor, and a
Oh,
lot went down, and we got a runoff election about to come up. But before we go any further, I want you to say a few words, Robert. Since you've been gone, let our listeners know what's really happening in the world right now.
no.
Well, first thing,
Can you swing it around here
first thing I would like to say is
so he can talk?
I
Or
have
that we
not.
can share it.
Yeah.
Curtis needs the mic though.
Okay.
I have not been here for a while. I miss you, brothers, man. I love y'all. My
Love you
big brother,
too.
both of y'all, my big brothers, and most importantly, I want to say rest easy, Mr. Carl Staples, man. It was kind of, threw me back when I found out that he wasn't here. I'm glad I'm here today, and to his family, my condolences. But only thing that's going on, Curtis, that I really would talk about is that you had a victory, and here we are in Louisiana, a place that per capita locks up more people on this planet than China. China has over 1 billion people. Louisiana has less than 5 million. And guess what? Here in Caddo Parish, we got 96,000 registered voters,
Yeah,
and then the 6,000 come out.
my Lord.
At what point do we as black people stop saying we got to wait for the white people in the media to tell us what to think about? Because you saw in this election,
Yeah.
when they kept talking about democracy on the ballot. No, your ballot is democracy. But it was scare tactics that was used. But even with the scare tactics, black Republicans and white Republicans, black Republicans or black Democrats did not come out. And it was sad to see the numbers. And here you are in Louisiana talking about free little Jeffro, but you would not even come out to vote to do away with slavery.
Yeah, so Rob, hey man, me, you and Curtis, and y'all know we just leave it real, and anything but real talk is just talk. So let's lay it out there. Now, 96,000 black people are registered voters in Caddo Parish, according to Dale Sibley, who is over the voter registration. These are black registered voters. In Caddo Parish, a little between 5,000 and something and 6,000 actually got out and voted. So, Curtis, it's sad that something can be on the ballot of this magnitude, and you worked hard, brothers, with others to get this on the ballot. The very person that sponsored the bill, he cowered it down, but it was already out there. So, Curtis, we want to ask you, man, what is wrong? It got passed in 4 other states to remove it off the state constitution, out of the state constitution, the word slavery. What is it about the Negro here in Shreveport, Louisiana, the heart of the Confederacy, the last holdout of the Confederacy? What is it going to take, Brother Robert and Brother Curtis, to change the mind of this Negro in Louisiana?
Chicken and watermelon at the
First,
polling
I want to
booth.
say that we want to celebrate the victory.
Right.
We did win in Alabama.
Four
We
other
did win
states.
in Tennessee
4 other
and
states.
Vermont and Oregon. But to think Alabama passed it before Louisiana,
Wow.
that's a big up for
crazy.
Bama.
Come
was
Go
on,
crazy,
Bama.
wasn't it,
Bama.
man?
Come on,
Yeah,
Bama.
go Bama.
Go Bama.
Because these slave states are real. People say, well, have you witnessed racism in the 21st century? And middle class black people, if you ask them that question, and they be like, well, if it is, I ain't seen none. Because
Wow.
they got a job.
Wow.
Because they got a $300,000 mortgage.
Right.
Remember, I didn't say a $300,000 house.
House. But a
They have a
300
$300,000
mortgage.
mortgage. And they glad. Look, I just bought me a house. No,
Wow.
brother, you just went in debt for the rest of your life.
Miss a pavement.
And
Wow.
Miss a
the
payment.
word mortgage means death certificate,
Right.
as a matter of fact. So our people have been bamboozled into believing that and not understanding that we have less equity economically, property-wise, than we did 10 years out of slavery.
Wow.
We had more property 10 years out of slavery than we do right now November 17th,
So, Curtis, let me ask you and
2022.
Rob this, man. What would stop individuals? Because I know we had talked in the Black Caucus was against it.
Mhm.
Why was these individuals was against something that would help us as a people? Just the word slavery alone should have
Just a
got every.
symbolic
Yeah,
victory
yeah,
they should have went for. But you can never get into the mind of another person. But historically, the Louisiana legislature has been amongst the most corrupt legislature in the United States,
wow,
instead of Illinois.
right,
They've always been running neck and neck, Illinois and Louisiana, because they have a supermajority in the Republican Party here.
right,
They have a supermajority in the House, and they have a supermajority
in the
in the
Senate,
Senate.
right.
So no real business can ever get done in the state of Louisiana unless by behest of the Republican Party.
My
Now, I'm not
Lord.
saying anything negative about the Republican Party,
Right.
but the Democrats might seem to think
My Lord.
that if we do something that boss and them don't like,
Wow.
then man, maybe we ain't gonna get to do nothing else. The other things we supposed to be doing around here. And my daddy told me one time that black people do. What did he say? He said the white man don't have his foot on your neck. Black people have their neck under his foot.
Wow. That's
And so I
powerful.
want people to think about it in our KOK listening audience,
Right.
in my Facebook listening audience. Remember, we don't have, well, he doesn't have his foot on our neck. We have our neck under his foot.
Wow.
We had 96,000 voters in Caddo Parish.
My
We had
Lord.
960,000 voters across the state of Louisiana that are
Wow.
black or melanated.
Right.
Let's not necessarily say black,
Black,
because
right.
black is a political choice,
Right.
consciousness.
Right.
Melanated skin means that you got
Color.
a dark hue or
Right.
color to your skin.
Color,
right.
So you got colored people
Right.
that have become apathetic, that will not get out the vote. I'm talking about intelligent people,
Man.
school teachers, people that have college degrees. They ain't came out to vote neither.
Well, why is it that we complain about everything, and then when it's time to do something about that which you complaining about, people stay home? Because when we was out riding around, we saw people sitting on the porch, and you've been pushing this thing, and others telling them about the seriousness of this particular amendment that was on the ballot, Proposition 7, that was on the ballot, that will remove, y'all listen to us good, all the people out there in radio land. It was to remove the word slavery out of the state constitution. Now, this was done in order to open up avenues for other things. Simply saying that you can't mistreat people when they're behind bars. It was going to open up also that these people will have to be paid so grandmama and grandpapa can stop sending money home, that it will reduce the slave labor that these corporations are getting rich off of. And these people could pay into the system to take care of their child support and all of that. But now, since it's been struck down by people that want to stay home versus come out, and how hard was it to get this thing? This is what the Negro don't understand.
It's
It was
hard.
hard to even get it, on the ballot in the first place.
Well, it's going to be an uphill climb. Everybody said, well, we can get it back next year.
That's what they call it.
It ain't been there in 157 years.
Tell them, Curtis.
So why ain't next year? Come on, they
What,
just doing this now.
what makes next year? You know what we find? I'ma just be real.
Yeah, talk about
Social
it, Rob.
media has dumbed us down so much that instead of the Negro getting out to vote, he spent more time on Facebook talking about the need to vote, but didn't go out and vote.
But didn't go out and
Also,
vote.
you got to look at it. The power structures that are set up, the corporatocracy, because you got to realize don't nobody care about your Republicans or Democrats. You live in a fascist system where the corporations controls the Republicans and Democrats. Y'all see this? I'm going to tell y'all something. The thing to look for is FTX. Ask the question what was going on. Your Democrats was getting millions of the money that we supposed to be sending to Ukraine to fund their election process. But you got people like the sheriff of Caddo Parish who will not allow your local media stations to promote this item on the ballot because they got us trying to get Levette Fuller elected. They trying to get us to get unelectable people elected, and that's what they focus most of their attention on.
Yeah, let me ask y'all about this too, Brother Curtis. Now, the system of government in Shreveport is finna change. We had enough blacks to do everything that we wanted to do in the city council, in
We
the
had we
mayoral
had
seat.
six. We
Yeah.
have a black mayor, black fire chief, a black police chief.
Black
We
school
have
board superintendent.
we dominate the school board.
Right.
I mean, we got six blacks on the council.
Right.
On the commission.
Right.
So it ain't like we can't keep saying, man, white people doing this to us.
Right.
But no, I'm gonna be real. I got to interject to this because
Okay.
black people in Caddo Parish are not understanding. Your sheriff don't care what color these politicians are because can I keep it real? A lot of your politicians they got caught in compromising situation with little boys. A lot of them. No, we gotta call it as it is. So your sheriff has control over them because if you don't do what I say, this is gonna come out and you're going to jail.
Right. So let me ask you this also, Rob. So now we understand that aspect of it, Curtis. But I mean, black people didn't get out and go to the polls. You know, Curtis then worked on getting this on the ballot. But everybody has a choice to go push that button or not. I went and pushed it. Other went and pushed it. So
But
I
let me
understand
say
what
this,
you're
though.
saying, but what would stop them from going out, Curtis, knowing
They had corporate interests like Ben and Jerry's ice cream company, way from Vermont, who
Right.
supported our initiative in Vermont,
Right.
that paid to have people vote no
Wow.
here in Louisiana. They had
Yeah.
a well orchestrated vote no campaign. And if you think I'm lying, you in retrospect, look back today, an article came back on National Public Radio,
saw it.
NPR, to
Wow.
let y'all know what you could have had in Louisiana. But the
Wow.
voter in Louisiana listens to TikTok to
Right.
get their
Exactly.
information to vote on.
Right.
They
Exactly.
listen to social media to get their information instead of just go and read the bill.
Right.
But Louisiana has the highest illiteracy rate, and we have the
Wow.
highest poverty rate, we have the worst quality of life, and
Right.
people seem to be happy to stay in the condition that we in.
Boy, that's
so, but
sad.
let's move away from the national politics and come closer home because we have a runoff election.
Yes, let's
that's
talk
about
about
to
that,
go
Rob.
down.
Yeah.
And I want to give y'all an opportunity to talk about that. And I'm gonna step out for 1 second.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Our local election here, you got Gary Brooks over there in District B that's running against Miss Marvez. Robert, it's a shame that even in District E, you got B, you got E, and you got G, that we have the opportunity right now to put in a majority black city council again. As I told you on Facebook and me and Rob was talking, the reason why they want to take over the mayoralship, get mad if you want to. Stop getting mad at the people that's telling the truth, that's been doing this work for over 30 years, and get smart. These people are setting up dominoes. They want to take over the mayoral seat with Tom Arsenault. They got Tom Arsenault against Greg Tarver, okay? They take over the mayoral seat. They take over the majority on the city council. So now, under the Biden reinvestment plan, billions of dollars is coming through the city of Shreveport. There are a group of people that want to control that money. And so if we are moving people out of the way and we are no longer the majority, then who you think is going to be in control of all of this millions and millions of dollars and billions of dollars is coming through Caddo Parish, Rob? Because now we're going to call out the racists so that people won't say, well, I didn't know what was going on, Pastor May. We're going to stop. God is eliminating these lies.
Well, whose fault is it that you don't know what's going on with some situations that affect your day-to-day life?
Your day-to-day
You always
life.
on Facebook talking all this pretty knowledge.
Yeah, local politics.
How conscious you are on Facebook don't mean nothing when it come down to that city council. Because again, we're on the precipice of going from a black mayor and 4 black seats
Right.
to a white mayor and what?
A majority white.
A majority white.
That's
And
it.
then when you look at a couple of them on the city council, that's black, vote white.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
So now you're looking at a situation where if I don't know what's going on in my backyard, that means robbers and thieves can come in. Because what they say, you can't bind a strong man house up. unless you buying the strong man.
That's right. That's
so
right.
what we are being given, again, it's going back to how you got to look at how things were promoted. You notice they didn't promote item number 7.
Right.
Like they promoted the mayor's race or whatever. They nowhere in the state of Louisiana did they promote that initiative that will keep your son from being a slave in Angola.
Hey, think about this though,
Wow.
and please let me. I'll be remiss to not say this.
Yes, sir.
We had 508,000 people across the state come out and vote yes on something. That's
Wow.
500,000 people. Now you got these little races that could have promoted and got something exciting on their bill and their ballot. They should have been running for city council and say at the same time, come out and vote to take slavery off the ballot. Because
Right.
they got 2,000 votes. They got
Right.
534 votes. You could have won an election
Right.
based on what we
Yeah.
was doing.
Right.
Underfunded, unfunded. I see these big ass signs across the city everywhere.
Right.
I ain't got no money to pay for no signs, but we have a good noble cause with God on our side.
Right.
You
And he
understand?
was
You
your
can tell
mouthpiece.
God on your side.
was your
If
mouthpiece.
you get 500,000 votes in this state,
Right.
this God had to be on his side.
God was your mouthpiece because guess what? You didn't have one from the local media. You didn't have a mouthpiece from
Right.
the local media.
And let's say this about local politics. Politics is always local.
Right.
Remember that. And a lot of the things that we talking about that affect us in this city that we think that the mayor's office controls is actually controlled by the city council.
Right.
So we need to start using Real Talk Radio as a civics class.
Right.
Because
Exactly,
that man can't do what y'all asking him to do. It's based on the city council.
That's
And
it.
if you don't have the right amount of councilmen in that have the same agenda as
Right.
you have, then nothing is going to ever change when we think that a person that is the spokesperson for the city
Right.
actually have power, because this is not a mayoral run city. This is a city council run city.
Right.
So let's talk about that.
Also, you think about this. We as black people got to understand, even white people got to understand, first thing you got to do, if you want to make change in Freeport, you got to get that city council meeting changed from Tuesday to Saturday. They got it at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday for a reason.
Because everybody at
Because
work.
everybody at work. They don't want you to come out and vote.
Right.
Now, black people understand this. Voting is just the beginning, because once we get the candidates who we feel is going to represent us the best in office, we got to go down and start holding them accountable so that the other side won't say, well, let me give you $30,000 to forget this legislation here.
Right.
So we have become so, I guess you could say, I mean, I ain't gonna say cynical. We have become so seduced because, again, our people would rather be entertained than informed. And I'm gonna say this, I hope I don't offend nobody, but I bet you if we said, y'all come out and vote, we got some fried chicken and some watermelon flavored Kool-Aid, and we have some people twerking, it gonna be Negroes.
Right. From everywhere.
From everywhere.
Right.
I hate to say that and be stereotypical,
Right.
but if you give somebody something, they more likely to come out there.
Ain't that sad?
It's sad, but we have, again, a generation now that will sit on Facebook and talk all pretty about voting and would not come out on voting day while they on Facebook talking about voting.
My Lord. And then the thing that got me, Curtis, you got a United States Senator that's on the ballot. You got an incumbent mayor that was on the ballot. And you got Tom Arsenault that at one time back in the early 60s or whatever served on the city council. Here's the thing that gets me. Because the neglect of the black participation, Tom Arsenault wind up getting more votes than Greg Tarver, who is a United States Senator
Current.
and who has served in the capacity on the city council years ago as well. This is the kind of stuff I don't understand. We complain about everything, but when it's time to get up and do something that's going to change the course of history in Louisiana, 4 other states, man, when I heard Alabama, when they went to reading it off on the news, they said Alabama went for it. I said Alabama and the Negroes in Shreveport, Louisiana, Caddo, would not get out and vote to remove the language slavery out of the state constitution. So when your child go to jail, now here's the after effect, Curtis, because I know they're gonna be calling you, because some already been calling me.
Yes, sir.
So when your child go to jail, and they mistreat him and do him like a slave, and treat him like he's not a human, and you crying on the phone how he being mistreated. Well, the fact of the matter is you didn't get out and go vote.
They
And
have living condition laws in the state of Louisiana that most people don't understand. If you're under the condition of slavery and involuntary servitude, then there's also 42 other revised statutes
wow,
that say basically you cannot live above the level of the
Oh,
lowest
yeah,
level of a person
exactly.
that's living in society. So if you see the young man that's sleeping under the newspaper at the Greyhound bus station on the ground,
right.
by law, the person in prison cannot live a better condition than that. So they can treat your son bad. They can treat your daughter bad
Bad.
because it's codified into law. They have little bitty codicils in law that say prisoners can't eat grade A meat.
Wow.
I mean, little stuff
They
like
can't
that.
have air conditioners because the average person doesn't have
The
an air
average person
conditioner.
doesn't have an air
Wow.
conditioner.
If you don't got average air conditioning at your house, the penitentiary does not have to provide an air conditioner for a cage that's holding
real.
150 some men.
And this is
Wow.
about tradition. It's why they fought y'all so hard on the Confederate flags. My
Right.
dad told me a story when I was a little boy coming here from California every summer.
Man.
And he said that they had a white man and a black man who were sharecroppers on two farms that was co-adjacent to each other. They were working hard every day in the field and they would push their plow by hand. One time the black man got a mule and started being able to push the plow harder than the person that lived next door to him, which was the white man.
Right.
And the white man got his son, and they snuck over there one night, and they killed the mule. When they got back home, the white man's son asked him, "Daddy, why we killed Mr. Jones' mule?" He said, "Son, if you can't be better than the Negro, then who can you be better than?"
Wow.
That's the spirit of the law, the
Ooh.
Constitution of Louisiana, to keep one segment of the society marginalized, to keep one segment of the society down into infinitum, where white supremacy can reign, where at least the lowest white man can be better than the biggest black man.
And you know who propagated? You know who propagated that more than anybody else? Believe it or not, Abraham Lincoln.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln really said, if it was possible to keep this union together without freeing one Negro, I would do it. But I'm not going to free the Negro at the expense of the white man. This is Abraham Lincoln's word, going to exactly what Curtis was saying. Abraham Lincoln said, I got to make at least the dirt poor white person feel that they better than the poor dirt poor black person.
And to bring it into closer time before the pastor closes us out, that is called the Southern strategy.
Right.
Richard Nixon and his Atwater were the first proponents of this, that they could get the Southern vote for the national elections based on dog whistle racist politics. If they could say stuff like welfare, that's usually associated or a connotation to black people. When you hear people say crime,
Right.
they're really saying black. Even though white people commit more crimes than black people, the connotation is a dog whistle. And these things, urban, these words, they're speaking to a group of people that say, well, if they say those words, then that's the secret. That's the code. Because we're going to get rid of the secrets right now.
Right.
We're letting the listeners of KOKA know that it's real talk going on.
That's it.
Stop with these dog whistles. Y'all voted for John Kennedy.
Yeah.
Just now. He said, next time you got something bad to say about the police, next time you need help, call a crackhead.
And that what Gary Chambers was saying. The black brother that ran against him, he was like, I don't understand the people of Louisiana and why they vote against their own vested interests. It's sad, Rob, but that's the kind of world we living in, that we don't want to get out and vote. We got all this black conversation, but nobody getting up and going do what is necessary.
No black demonstration.
No black demonstration. Thank you. That's just black conversation. Everybody want to be more than the next one, but don't nobody want to go out and vote to change the narrative that will make us into a people that will be self-sufficient.
Yes,
they don't want that. Our people don't want that for us, and that's why so many stayed home. Yeah, we can blame this person, that person. We can blame the white man. We can blame everybody. But I want to get on this, Rob. There was a brother. I don't know whether it was the basketball player, Kyrie Irving. He just made a statement. Can y'all speak to Brother Kyrie? He was only saying what had already been said, and they didn't go after the billionaire. They went after the brother.
Yeah.
First of all, they didn't go after the people that made the movie.
Right.
The name of the
Exactly.
movie
It's still
is
it's still up on Amazon right today.
From
Come
Hebrews
closer
to
the mic
Negroes.
so they can hear you.
From
Yeah.
Hebrews to Negroes.
Yeah.
Negroes, and they done some pretty well researched stuff. I mean, I took a look at it. I mean, I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic or whatever, because you got to be scared to talk now.
Right.
You got to, because you could say anything about a black girl. You just said they could twerk and they can get on out there, and you could call them the N-word, and you
Right.
could shoot each other up or pimp each other in the music that's on the national airwaves.
Right.
That Jewish people happen to own too. You
Right.
understand what
They
I'm
do.
saying?
They do.
Kyrie Irving. I just posted. I seen a video.
Right.
And he posted the video.
Right.
And boy,
They went off.
He
on
didn't
that
even
brother.
say the J word. Y'all gotta keep in mind, we gotta say J
on, Rob.
word like we say N word. But y'all
Right.
know what we mean when we say N word, don't you?
Right.
You know, notice this. I'm going to show you something. Dave Chappelle, one of the greatest comedians in history, just this weekend, went on Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
He said the N word on live TV over 10 times. He did it on purpose.
Right.
To
Because soon as
demonstrate
he
a
said the J word, everybody got mad about him saying that J word. Dave Chappelle said something that was so brilliant. He said, at my time in Hollywood, I learned is 2 words that you don't put together consecutively to make a point or a phrase, and it's the Jews.
My Lord.
Notice he was able to say the N word with impunity,
My Lord.
and them Jews say, how dare that N word call us Jews?
The thing was though, the Hebrew religion, or Judaism,
Right.
used to be the Hebrews on something based on blood.
Right.
Then after World War II, when you dealt with the 1948 Balfour Agreement,
Right.
this created from politics people
Right.
that got to choose something on religion, get some land that the Palestinians had been living on for 700 years.
Right.
And they came from war-torn Eastern Europe.
Europe.
They came from Khazar, a place called Khazar.
And all of a
Right.
sudden, everybody in the world better respect anything that they say, because they codified it in the League of Nations.
Right.
And they got the money, the power, and the influence to destroy you if you say anything
So,
against
why is it? So why is it that they can say anything they want to say
Because
about
they own-
people of color, but black people specifically?
What
but
about
when it
the
comes
fact
to any other race?
we don't talk about the Jewish participation in the transatlantic slave trade?
Right.
the
We
big,
don't
they
talk
were the
about the
biggest.
money that they invested for the ships to bring the slaves over here that caused all those problems. But we got one more minute, so we're gonna cut that real talk.
Yeah,
That
right
gotta be
now.
a whole nother
Yeah,
That's a
show.
whole
That's
nother
a whole
segment.
nother show.
And remember, we ain't scared to talk to y'all about the real, because I stand with my God, and my God says that I'm His child.
And that's what he
I
said.
don't know-
got my protection.
Most importantly,
That's it.
don't nobody pay us, so we don't have no sponsors. So guess what?
Yeah, you
we
can't
can
take
say,
nothing from me no
We
way.
can
That's it.
say certain, long we don't say N-word, which I don't
Right.
know what, long we don't cuss or nothing, because it's a
Right.
Christian radio
Yes, it
program.
is.
But long as we don't say those cuss words or N-word or whatever, we can say whatever we want, because there's
So
no
keep it
financial.
real till next week, and let's
Thank you.
respect the First Amendment of the United States that said we have freedom of speech. We have the freedom to push ideas out into the world, long as they don't hurt other people. And this is not intended to hurt other people.
No,
Know
no.
that we love you, Caddo Parish.
Yes, we
love
do.
you in the world, Facebook. But we just got to keep it real,
man.
So until next week, peace.
Peace. God bless you. Thank
Get on
you.
Facebook and read real books.
All right,
But
Facebook family.
he boy
I'm
be
sorry,
going
but
in.
it gets me excited
Yeah,
up in here.
man, you.
You know, that's a big
That's
deal.
because God got us all to push each other.
Curtis be bringing that knowledge to the table, boy. Curtis.
Curtis bring out the best in
Yeah, he
everybody,
bring the best out
because
there.
he gonna promote, he gonna instigate the situation.
I know they get scared, huh?
Pastor.
Oh, okay.
They
Well,
scared
that's
for
my
me now.
kid.
They be like, be
Oh y'all, hey y'all, this your boy Ron Thomas Jr. Hey you too. Y'all may share and like this video. Every Thursday, even if I ain't here, you got my 2 people, both my big brothers.
And we had 40 views, and I love you.
We got big brother Curtis Davis. We got my big brother Pastor Linus May, and your boy, Real News Behind the News, Real Talk Radio every Thursday, man. On KLK, I think it's 93. What KLK called that? 93 point what?
93.3.
90.3 on FM, and what it is? 880.
80.
on AM. Hey, y'all, hey, stay tuned, cause on the bigger and better thing. Even if I ain't here, y'all know Curtis and Pastor gonna keep it real with real talk. Y'all be blessed.
Boy, I'm telling you, that's it.
Oh, they gonna call about this stuff here. Greg Lee was calling.